Hello everybody, this is going to be a replay review from my boy Shaggy. He's been nice enough to be helping my lovely lady Kali to learn mid lane, so we're going to help him apparently learn how to play anti-mage.
Banana slam jam.
We're seeing that you are against Batrider in lane. You queue up the stick, makes sense. Fast forward, fine with the starting items. You've got an Undying, so there will be a lot of back and forth in this lane. I'm thinking tread super early, because against Batrider, I highly prioritize movement speed. I would consider an Orb of Venom in this lane. It just matters when you want to get it. Just things to think about here. Let's keep fast forwarding. We see 3 at the rune.
30 seconds to battle.
According to the forecast, this one is in the bag.
The battle begins.
Okay, being aggressive early on is good. Oh, this noob Monkeys Forever is going to be feeding the offlane, I'm sure. Crap it. Good early aggression. Gotta be a little bit careful you stay too long to miss a CS.
Dire's courier has been killed.
Hey, is this a BSJ replay? Courier dying? Oh wait, no, that's the bottom lane, never mind. I'm gonna rewind a bit. So this is a situation in lane that you don't want to happen, right? You as a carry, it's really important that you don't have the wave shove into your tower with this many creeps. What's going to happen is it gives them level 2 before you get level 2, and it also means you're tanking like 8 creeps underneath your tower. So it's like super important that you either A-click the wave a ton, or you drag the creeps into your tower so that the tower kills them for you. Because I know you're going for like right-clicking right here and you get denied, but this is where you're supposed to drag these creeps into your tower. Because otherwise you end up with this shit. Like, it's not worth that one range creep deny in order to make this happen. As well as, like, the fact that anything else you're doing, it's not good to have this many creeps here. Because then it also gives the Void Spirit time to pull the large camp. All the time you're spending underneath your tower is that much longer that they're pulling the large camp. So it's like, not only is it that, like, in this case, it doesn't punish you that Batrider is level 2, but not only is it all the reasons I already mentioned, but it's the fact that the pull camp at the big camp is going on for that much longer. And even though you're like being aggressive on Batrider, he's happy to have the wave underneath his tower. He lives. Now the big creep dies to Void Spirit. So it's like a net loss because you let the lane push into your tower so hard. So this is something you especially have to worry about when you're playing a lane with no wave clear. In this case, Undying anti-mage. Nice kill there. So you did go boots first, that's good. Okay, so you reset the sticky and then came back to lane, that's good.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So overall, I would say you're letting the lane push into you a bit too much.
Radiant's
You're
bottom
like
tower is under
prioritizing
attack.
lane equilibrium a bit too hard towards you. Like there's times where you're auto attack denying the wave, which was before that last tower push, where I would have been looking to get the denies, but also looking to maybe kill a range creep here or there. Like what you'll see a lot of anti-mage players do, especially since anti-mage is so good at clearing out range creeps because of mana burn. You would like kill one of these range creeps right here. Like right now. Instead of letting it like continuously push into you. It could have been done earlier, could have been done a lot earlier. So you do clear out the range creeps now. You do go treads first. I would strongly consider an Orb of Venom now that you have treads. It's just so good in situations like this one that you're experiencing right now. I don't think this chase is actually good for you. Yeah, you want to shut down the opponent offlaner, but I think it's super important that you don't sacrifice your own game to do so. As an offlaner, I'm kind of like laughing my way to like you missing an entire wave underneath tower as well as at the big camp. I just don't think it's worth for you. I think as a safe lane carry, you have to play for yourself a lot more. Like, if you had played for yourself earlier, you would have had level 6, and then this would be a kill. Potentially, more likely. But, like, honestly, Monkeys is fine with that death. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, he's perfectly fine with that death. I think you're just balancing... Your balance of aggression to farm is too high. It's, like, in favor of aggression. I definitely think if you're gonna be aggressive, the Orb of Venom was super important. You're looking to TP mid against Storm now. This is good TP.
This isn't over yet.
Whenever you're anti-mage against a mid laner like Storm or Lesh, it's really good to be ready to TP. You elected to go for Windlace as opposed to Orb of Venom. I think that's like a reasonable choice. I even think like both would be fine. It's just like on anti-mage, since you already have Blink, I would have prioritized the Orb of Venom because you're probably blinking on them in the first place. Okay.
Dire's courier has been killed.
Pick up both bounties. Yeah, that was good. Good room control on a hero that doesn't die doing it. You immediately TP bottom in response to the PL being top.
Radiant's bottom
I think
tower.
that's also fine.
Radiant's bottom tower.
It's good to get out of your lane whenever the opponent's like looking to bring more than... Like if there's like a PL jungling top, and a Bat Rider farming top, and a Storm that can rotate top, you're definitely like a liability up there, so... I think this was a good rotation out. You saw heroes on the map that should make you not scared of blinking on the high ground, so even though there's a disruptor there, I think it's
I
perfectly
don't
fine
bow
you did
to
that.
magic.
Radiant's
Such bad things
Dire's top tower is under attack.
So you TP back bottom in response to the fact that top, excuse me, in response to that Bat Rider went bottom. Even though you're pretty good against Bat, I think your choice to go top is a good one. I think you farming your way back towards bottom is actually kind of a grief. I think you taking that farm away from your Ember is really bad. I think, like, because you TP'd bottom, where Disruptor had Static Stormed you, or TP'd away from bottom, Disruptor had Static Stormed you, Bat Rider had TP'd bottom, you were definitely safe enough to go one more wave top. I think that one wave top adds up a lot. It's like 200 extra gold to farm for yourself and your team.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Now that we've got a Battle Fury. TP into fights, blowing up these instant cores. It's fine with me.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Default into the bottom half of the map. I actually think you could play anywhere on the map this game, to be honest.
Storm was coming.
I think playing away from your team as often as possible is really important. Anytime you get clumped up with your team is when these type of ganks happen. I said you were defaulting to bottom. I actually don't like these plays where you're TPing to bottom. The problem when you TP bottom like this... The problem when you run top like this and then TP bottom is the opponent knows you TP here. And then what happens is they know you're going to be here for the next 80 seconds. So like say you were just here and then you go off map, they don't really know where you are. Right? So that was 14:45. But now it's like if I'm a support player, I know you TP'd bottom and I know until 16 minutes you're bottom.
Attack.
So it gives me like this 80-second window to just find you because I know you're here. So I'm not necessarily microing your movements on the map, but TPing in vision is a time where you're almost always going to get ganked by the opponent. So if you're going to show up to fights, a lot of times, ideally, you would want it to be near where you're farming rather than TPing to the fight as a hero like Anti-Mage because you're so mobile on the map. And by TPing to one side of the map, it makes you not mobile on the map. They know exactly where you are. Something to think about there. Like, if you were intending to show up to a fight bottom, I would have rather you have walked there preemptively and missed a creep wave or two. Or,
think you're good.
if you do TP bottom, that you play safer when you go bottom after you get the kill. Like, you get the kills, you push out the lanes, and then you play safer. The enemy team's showing 4 mid. I think it's super important you blink your way towards top right now. I think you wait too long here. I think it's actually so important that you create this pressure top because of the enemy team showing mid. I basically don't like the order you did things there. You went jungle then top, rather than top then jungle. I think when the opponent groups up like this as a split pusher, it's even more imperative that you immediately start clearing waves. Usually you can play the efficiency game where you're like going for as many camps as possible, but when the opponent groups up, it just doesn't work, because what happens is by the time you're creating pressure on that tower top, the fight's already over, PL's already TP'd there, and you actually don't create any pressure. So like creating that pressure 10-15 seconds earlier is actually really impactful. So now we're just stuck playing defensively. I would argue your map movements have just been way too much around your team, where the fact that you're fighting so much is making it so that the pressure on the map is non-existent, so the opponent is not separating at all. And since the opponent's not separating at all, and they're winning by 7k gold, the fights are naturally going in their favor. So it's like, it's crazy to think this, right? But you fighting as anti-mage, it can actually be detrimental because you're not clearing waves on the opposite side of the map from your team, and if the waves don't get cleared, the opponent just keeps running at you. It's like this vicious cycle where you keep having to fight them because you were fighting them earlier on in the game. In some games that's good for you, but in this game specifically, PL's like super survivable, and while you're fighting, the PL's just going to be farming and creating pressure on the map itself. So this was nice.
So much bluster.
And you get a nice kill
so
on
little follow.
Storm there.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
So Storm's dead. This game's really hard for you. I think you need a BKB, to be honest. I would probably just go BKB here
Dire's top
because
tower
of
is
static
under
storm plus storm. All of their damage is magical. Even PL can't do anything to you with your BKB. It's actually just too hard for you to play down. Like, you can't show on the map without a BKB here. Not only can you not show on the map, but you can't fucking hit a tier 2 tower. Like, this is literally bonkers. Storm Spirit's alive in 4 seconds. PL's creating pressure top, so it's going to mean that the rest of their team wants to go bottom because they know they're creating pressure top. And now you just die underneath their tier 2. The fact that you feel comfortable at all to show with no BKB says a lot. The fact that you're hitting a tier 2 is even worse, for sure. I know you're an anti-mage, but even though they have a lot of magic damage, even the defusal from PL is like super annoying for you. And you have a lot of stuns on your team, so like when your Beastmaster roars somebody, if you have a BKB, you can actually like commit onto the fight. I just want you to think, like, how are you positioning, who are you going on, and all that kind of stuff, that you can play without a BKB. Like, they have like 4 heroes that you need a BKB against. So you can't go on one of them, right? And because you have like Ember Beastmaster, you have some stuns and lockdown, I think the Basher first is unnecessary. So you're electing to trade bottom as opposed to fight in a row. This is a fucking classic. This is the kind of shit that blows my mind about some people, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. So you're pushing bottom, right? And it's really important whenever you know the opponent's going to contest you, where they're coming from. And it's just where they were last playing. It's really that simple, right? The enemy team just got done finishing Roche, maybe 20-30 seconds ago. So shocker, where do you think they are? They came from Roche, they're running this way, right? Like, that's exactly where they're going to be, because they just finished Roche. For you to blink on this camp is actual insanity. Yeah, the game seems pretty impossible
Dire's
from
bottom
here.
tower is under attack.
I think as a carry, it's actually important to realize that sometimes lane pressure is actually more important than showing up to fights. I think in this game, this like snowball effect of you constantly participating in fights, and because even though you have an Ember, he's like fighting as well. You have supports like Earth Spirit, Undying, that don't clear waves really all that well. What happens is you guys keep finding yourself in fights, and you find yourself behind in farm, and then the PL kind of just accelerates, and it leads to like this 1 or 2k gold net worth lead that PL is going to inevitably have. And because you're not creating any pressure on the map, you're actually making your teammates fight more. Like, you're actually making them have to keep fighting. Your Ember needs like a BKB as well. He needs items. There's just been no space made on the map. I think Anti-Mage is like a really hard hero to play right now. It feels like very difficult for me whenever I play the hero. Because he doesn't like fit the bill of like get Battle Fury plus one excuse me, plus one item and then go kill everybody, kind of like PA. It's like a weird situation, but oddly enough on a carry you're fighting way too much, I think is what I would sum up to be the issue this game. So if you're a split pusher and you're forcing yourself into 5v5s a lot, that's just not how you capitalize on the hero's kit. The way you capitalize on a hero's kit that split pushes is by forcing the opponent to group up, or to separate, to not group up, and then fighting them. And a lot of your plays were kind of just like the opponent makes a play, you TP respond. It's like the one on Storm Spear mid, that's great and all. You rotating bottom to help your Beastmaster, great. But then like after you TP back top and then you start playing, that one time you TP back top right before your Battle Fury, from that point on, you basically played around your team the rest of the game. And that's not good. You can't do that. Because if you play around your team in a game like this, the opponent's just going to run into you continuously. Because they have so much pick-off, so much kill potential, and they have a hero that plays alone. They have the PL. So it's like, imagine if the PL was fighting your team over and over again, right? It's like no pressure on the map. You can just 5-man. But like, in this case, the split push battle favors you over him, while the 5-man battle favors him over you. So you want that split push battle to be happening. So, hope you learned something, buddy. Thanks for doing Collie's games. How is AM versus PL in general? Kind of depends on the patch. I'd say either hero can be played into either hero.
If you liked this video, please like, comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel, all that shenanigans, because at the end of the day, YouTube does care about that. You may not care about it, I may not care about it, but the YouTube algorithm does. So, please do.